Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of my 1GP 2 Twisted Bow series, where I've given myself exactly 1 year to earn a twisted bow from scratch, or else. If I have not successfully earned a twisted bow by May 16th of 2020, I will be forfeiting all of the money that I have earned and giving it back away to my audience, and on top of that, I am going to be eating the spiciest pepper that I can find as punishment for not reaching that goal. Luckily for myself, we do seem to be on track to earning a twisted bow in time. And man, what is going on with the twisted bow? A week ago it was worth 950 mil, which is the lowest I've seen it in a long time. Now it's worth 1 bill again. It is going up and down a lot. And once again, thank you for all of the support on this series. We are consistently getting 3,000 likes, so you guys seem to be really enjoying it. If you are still enjoying the series, I'd appreciate it if you did leave the video a like. Alright, let's get started. We are starting on June 26th at around 71 mil, so we are ahead of schedule. I was hoping to get 75 mil by the end of month 2, which is still around 2 or 3 weeks away. Now, I found this really interesting margin on giant seaweed at 3 GP into 477. You don't really want to put it in for 3 GP because you're not actually going to buy enough to make a difference. Maybe on a high margin item, I'd try to cheese someone with it. But for something like a giant seaweed, I'm just going to put it in for 391. Still a very discount price, but much more likely for me to actually potentially buy 10,000 of them. But I thought it was kind of funny we found something for 3 GP. Next up here, we're going to do Dragonstone Dragon Bolt. We're going to buy them for 1233 and do a full buying limit of them. We decided to do the Mystic Set Blue. It has a 3k margin and, well, it's okay. We'll do 70 of them. It's not an ideal flip, but anything is better than nothing. Next up here, we're going to do the Obsidian Cape. It actually has a 12k margin. Man, these things are way more expensive than they used to be. They used to be like 200, 300k. We're going to go for 30 of them. And the very last item I want to try here is the Boots of Brimstone. I think it has around a 50k margin on it. We'll just go ahead and do a regular price check. For 1 mil, 61k, and selling it for 1 mil, 32k. That's pretty good. 30k on an item that's only 1 mil is pretty good, and the buying limit is 70 on this item, so I think it's worth doing. I just got an amazing flip on the Avanto potion. I don't understand what happened, but we ended up buying them for around 1,350 each, and I sold 4,000 of them for 1,630, which means I got a 300 GP-ish profit on each potion, and I did 4,000 of them, which means I got 1.2 mil in profit off of Avanto potions. I got really lucky. The price jumped overnight and I was able to sell off quite a few of them at that price. I also ended up getting 300k in profit on the Black Dragon Leather, which was also quite good. A lot more invested in that one. And we did Boots of Brimstone. We had 15 of them, which means we got around 300k in profit off of that. With a few other flips along the way, we ended up getting around 3 mil in profit, bringing us up to 74 mil, which is amazing. I'm getting pretty close to hitting the 100 mil mark, and it would be great to do it this episode or the next. Alright, so we're going to start off here with 20,000 Earth Orbs. It has a 20 GP margin. We're going to be doing this overnight. Generally with my overnight flips, I have been favoring high volume items that, well, don't trade as much and tend to have larger margins, like the Earth Orb. The Dragon Javelin Head is another good one. So on top of the Dragon Javelin Head, I'm going to do the Amethyst Javelin Head as well. Both of them have a 20 GP margin on them and will take a while to come through, but we are doing it overnight. And last up here, we're going to go for the Thammaron Scepter. We're going to go for 8 of them overnight at around 1.1 mil. So we ended up buying all of the items overnight, and we're still waiting on selling them off, but while I'm waiting, I wanted to show you another really awesome flipping technique, and that is creating poisoned abyssal daggers. Generally, adding weapon poison to things isn't worth it, as the item is too cheap to ever have much of a margin on it. But with the Abyssal Dagger, it's unique in the way that it's actually very expensive. It runs around 8 to 8.5 mil, and there can often be a really big margin between the poisoned version and the not poisoned version. We bought the Abyssal Daggers for 8 mil pretty much on the nose, and we're selling them for 8 mil 200k. So we're looking to make 600k on a very quick flip just like that. Yeah, look at that, guys. We have done 5 Abyssal Dagger flips, I believe, buying them for around 8 mil initially, and selling them for, actually we got one sold for 8.4 mil, which means we got 400k in profit off of a single one. With a few offers that finally came through that we were selling overnight. We have the Giant Seaweed, which we got around 300k on. We have the Dragon Javelin Head, which we got around 150k on. We got 200k in profit off of 2 of the Abyssal Daggers. We got 440k on one of them and 278k on another, which means we got around 1 mil in profit off of 5 Abyssal Daggers. We're going to continue doing this as much as possible. Let's go ahead and buy another 3 Abyssal Daggers, and then we'll hit the buy-in limit for now. We are still selling off coconuts, earth orbs, and a Fury ornament kit flip. Alright, so we finally sold off our flips from last night. We sold 20,000 earth orbs for a profit of around 30 GP each, which means we got 600k from that. Very good, actually. We had also a very nice flip on a Fury. We ended up getting 560k in profit off of 4 of them, which is very, very good. We also did coconuts and some black chinchambas for another 200k in profit off of those, which means we made around 1.3 mil in profit off of this set of flips, bringing us up to 77 mil. Things are going quite well so far. I really want to try more of the Abyssal Dagger flips. Now, this actually works in reverse too. If you notice that the Abyssal Dagger poisoned is worth less than the regular Abyssal Dagger, you can remove the poison with a cleaning claw, so it goes both ways. Generally, the poison version is worth more, but not all the time. I may actually go for the Crushed Nest. Never gone for this item before, but it does have a 35 GP margin on it. They are kind of expensive, but for every 10,000 I do, I'm hoping to get around 300k in profit. And with the rest of our money, I'll go ahead and throw in for 2 or 3 more cheaper items. So we are back, and we sold off 3 of the Abyssal Daggers already, 300k in profit. I think this was under an hour to do this entire flip. Next up here, I want to try another Justiciar armor set combination. The price of Justiciar is all over the place. I should have held on to it last time, unfortunately, but the entire PVM market seems to be going back up. So we're going to go ahead and give this another try. We're buying all of the pieces for I think around 60 mil-ish, and we are looking to get a 500k margin by combining the set, and we instantly bought something. That is, whoops, okay, we totally messed up on that one. Hopefully we can still make a profit off of this though. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I didn't end up making as much money as I'd hoped because I instantly bought the Daggers, but we still made a 350k profit off of the set combination. Probably not worth it for the amount of money needed to invest, but it had the potential to be better. So now we're pretty much at 78 mil, just midday on the 27th. So we made quite a bit of money today so far. We are going to be heading out for a little while, so we're going to be putting in for some slower, high volume items. For example, the giant seaweed, 20 GP margin, a very cheap item. We're going to put in for 22k as I'm going to be gone for quite a while. If your item buys reasonably quickly, it'll only take around 5 hours to buy double the buying limit, since after 4 hours the limit will reset. I am planning on doing more Abyssal Daggers. We're buying them for hopefully around 8 mil. I don't think that's the exact margin right now, but again, we're going to be gone for a while, so hopefully a few will sneak through at that price. The Ruby Dragon Bolt has a very nice margin on it, 50 GP on each one, and we're going to do, well, we'll do 11,000 of them. Next up here, I want to do some Ranger Gloves. Has around a 50k margin on them and only costs around 1.3 mil, so not bad at all. And that leaves us with around 10 mil left. I'll find something interesting to put in, and we'll come back in 5 or 6 hours. We just successfully flipped another 6 of the Abyssal Daggers for 130k each. Really working well. We didn't actually put any poison on these ones. We just flipped the Poison Plus Plus version directly. But yeah, 120k on each one on 6 of them means 780k in profit. The giant seaweed, we actually can sell for 475, and we bought it for like 420 or 430 or something like that. So we're primed to make a lot of money on the giant seaweed. And the Ruby Dragon Bolts, we ended up getting a 517k profit on, so we got 1.2 mil just from 2 separate items, as well as probably another 500 600k on the giant seaweed. All right, that is a very good margin on Red Dragon Hide, 40 GP. We'll go ahead and do the full buy-in limit. Going to cost us around 25 mil, but I think it's worth it. And we're also going to do some Abyssal Daggers. They've worked so well for us in the last couple of days. We'll just do 2 for now. We actually found a really good margin on Uncut Sapphires, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. Probably find a few more things to put in. We'll come back before I go to sleep, hopefully. If not, I'll see you in the morning. So our overnight flips worked pretty well, actually quite well. We got 15 to 20 GP margins on them and ended up getting quite a few quantity. Of the javelin heads, for example, we got 20,000 more or less. First up here, we did some baby dragon bones. The limit was only 7,000 for it, but a pretty good margin, leaving us with around 250k in profit. The dragon javelin heads, we got around 600k in profit just because we bought so many of them. We got 20,000 at around a 30 GP margin, quite nice. And we did sell off all of the giant seaweed for a profit of around 400k, leaving us with around 1.3 mil in profit. We still do have the earth orbs to sell off, so we don't know exactly how much money we're at now. Once again, I'm going to buy more of the regular Abyssal Daggers, hoping to either turn them into poisoned versions or just flip them directly. Either way, a really good item to do. Why not do it again? And last up here, I'm going to try the Eclectic Impling Jar. It has a 30 GP margin, which is okay considering its price. It does have a very high buying limit. You can get, I think, 18,000 of these at a time. So we'll probably just dump the rest of our money in here. I have to run this to the door, so I don't have a lot of time to find something ideal, but that's good enough, and we'll come back later. The thing I really like about the Abyssal Dagger flip is it is so quick, and for a good amount of money. Yes, it is a pretty big investment, but the return on this item right now has been very good. We ended up flipping another 4 of them. We got 140k in profit off of 3 of them, and another 100k on a 4th one, giving us around 500k in profit on the Abyssal Dagger, and it's only been a couple hours. It is better if you can turn it into the poisoned version, as that item trades a lot more, but not necessary by any means. We also got around 192k in profit off of the Eclectic Impling Jars, which is okay. Bringing us up to 76 mil, although I think we have some Earth Orbs to sell off still. We're going to buy some Dragon Darts. It currently has around a 40 GP margin on it. We're going to do the full buying limit of 11,000. Sometimes you can actually get a 100 GP margin on Dragon Darts. Not very common, but when you do, it's like a really easy 1 mil profit. We're also going to do some Odium Wards, which we're going to buy for around 1.9 mil, and we'll do full 8 of them. And last up here, the Diamond Dragon Bolt actually has a really good margin on it of 50 GP. Not the most traded of the Dragon Bolt items, but still probably worth it. And we'll do the full buying limit. In the future, I would like to try to keep all 8 offer slots filled, but it's not always practical. Alright, we're going to show you another flipping technique here. Well, it's kind of just a variant of the other one I was talking about earlier, and that is removing poison from Abyssal Daggers. All you have to do is buy a cleaning cloth off of the Grand Exchange and use it on each of the daggers. Occasionally, buying the poison version is actually worth less than the cleaned version, and in this case that is true. We can sell the cleaned versions for hopefully 8 mil 400k, which is amazing. Our flips from earlier really didn't pan out. We didn't lose any money on them, but nothing really noteworthy, so I thought I'd just skip ahead. We did end up making a bit of money on the poison removal from the Abyssal Daggers, but only around 350k in profit, or 300k. We did get a really good flip on the Spiked Manacle, one of the new-ish clue scroll items. We got around 300k in profit off of that. 275k in profit on Red Chins, surprisingly. 140k on Air Orbs, and 180k on the Dragon Bolts. Altogether giving us 1.2 mil in profit, which is still very good. I'm happy with that. Having a bunch of consistent flips can pay off quite a bit as well, bring us up to 85.2 mil. And we're going to go right back and buy more Abyssal Daggers. We're going to buy 8 of them, once again hoping to add poison to them, and we'll probably find a few other items to go with it. We just finished an amazing flip on the Abyssal Daggers. We got all 8 of them, and we flipped them for around 100 to 150k in profit off of each one. From adding poison to 8 of the daggers, we got 1.2 mil in profit, which is amazing considering this only took a few hours to do. This really has been one of the staple flips of the episode, and I'm really happy that we found out this technique. So what we ended up doing here is we put in offers for a bunch of different ornament kits. The margins ranging from 50k to 150k. We did 4 of the Torture Ornament kits. We did 4 of the Bandos Godsword Ornament kit. And we're going to do 8 of the Armadil Godsword Ornament kit. We're doing this flip overnight so we can do double the limit. And we're also going to try for a few high volume items too overnight. We're going to go for the Lantidine Potion Unfinished, where we're going to attempt to flip double the buying limit once again. And we're also going to do the Onyx Dragon Bolts E consistently with a 100 GP margin. Very expensive item, but still worth doing. And those are going to be my overnight flips for June 29th. I hope they go well. Unfortunately, we didn't buy many of the ornament kits, but the margin we did get more than made up for it. On the Torture Ornament kits, we got a 130k margin. While we only got 4 of them, that's still 520k in profit. The Armadil Godsword Ornament kit only had a 100k margin, but we only got 2, unfortunately. The Onyx Dragon Bolts, we got a 200 GP margin on. Unfortunately, we only got 1.2k of them. However, that is still 300k in profit. And on the Lantidine Potions, we got 250k, bringing us up to 1.3 mil in profit. Once again, we are very consistently now getting at least a mil in profit per set of flips, which I'm pretty happy about. We're going to chuck in for some more Abyssal Daggers at around 8.2 mil, because why not? I'm actually going to try flipping the Infinity Bottoms. Currently has around a 200k margin on them. We're going to do 3 of them for now. And just to spice things up a little bit, we're going to throw in for some coconuts. Not really sure why, but we'll just do as many as we can afford, which is around 8,500. And that is going to be it. Okay, well, I didn't end up checking in at all yesterday. Well, today is Canada Day. Woohoo! It's kind of like the 4th of July, except on the 1st of July, if that makes any sense. I don't know. We ended up getting some really good margins on the 30th. We ended up getting an 80 GP margin on Avanto, which means we're going to profit 1 mil 80k off of a flip of 1300 Avanto. We got really lucky there. We're also going to get 415k in profit on the Dragon Bolts. We got 450k in profit on the Infinity Row Bottoms, and a measly 120k on the Coconuts. But that is netting us 2 mil in profit from these flips. That is absolutely amazing. I'm on my phone right now, so I'm going to go ahead and find a few things to put in here, but I am most likely not going to check it today because it is your constitutional right as a Canadian to get drunk on Canada Day and walk around. So over the last couple of days, I've been pretty consistently doing high volume flips. So I don't really have every single clip recorded, but we were doing stuff like Avanto potions, Avantos, Ruby Dragon Bolts. We ended up losing like 500k on Canada Day because of a Avanto flip that I don't even remember putting in. But we've done water orbs, but I think we did around 30,000 water orbs flipped over the last day or two. Just a bunch of consistent 20 to 30 GP margins, and we were just shooting to hit as many quantity of it as possible. If it wasn't working, we took it out pretty much immediately and switched over to something else, which has been working quite nicely. We did end up getting that 1 mil profit off of Avantos, which is probably the best I've ever gotten on a herb before. So let's just go ahead and sell everything off instantly here just to see how much money we're at. And we're up to 92 mil, very, very close to our goal for today's episode. I hope we can make it. 8 mil left to go, and well, we get a new update in a few days as well. Okay, so we're going to try the Gilded Full Helm. We're going to buy it for around 1950k, and we'll probably do the full buy-in limit. It's a pretty cheap item, and the margin is 150k right now.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
Okay, we also put an offer in for Amethyst Javelin Heads. We're also going to do 2,000 of the Onyx Dragon Bolts, still holding around a 200 GP margin. Not traded very often, but we're still getting a decent profit on them. We're also going to do around 20,000 Water Orbs, and I think the last item we're going to go for is the Gilded, and I think the last item I want to go for is the Gilded Kite Shield. Again, holding around a 100k margin. And we'll just invest the rest of our money in here. I think we can do 8, and now we have a nice diversity of items. This should last us for at least 5 or 6 hours, and we'll come back later. It is the morning of July 3rd. My timer's gone for whatever reason. I think I just messed up my OBS for 1 second. Anyway, we did quite well on the gilded items. We got 8 of both the Kite Shield and the Full Helm, and we retained around a 50 to 75k margin on both of them. On the Kite Shields, we made 480k in profit, and on the Full Helms, we made 380k in profit. We also ended up flipping around 1900 Essence Implings, kind of a random item, but that still netted us 267k. But in total, that's still around 1 mil in profit. But let's go ahead and collect everything, bringing us up to 94 mil, and it is July 3rd. I think I'm going to end up pushing this back until Thursday or Friday. I really want to hit the 100 mil mark before I upload this video. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be the Forthos dungeon update, and I'm really excited to attempt to flip some of the new items. I'm going to wake up reasonably early and attempt to actually get in on the action right away. This is definitely a risky strategy to do, but I'm kind of in a risky mood. We're going to have the new grubby key, the new Sarachnis weapon, and who knows, maybe there's some other things as well. So I'm going to go to bed early tonight and attempt to wake up at maybe 5 a.m. Maybe not, though. Okay, we only slept in a little bit. We ended up buying a Sarachnis cudgel pretty much right away for 5.1 mil and sold it for 5,400, which is a profit of 250k. It was very quick, so we're going to go ahead and put an offer in for 4 more of these items. And we're also attempting to flip the new grubby key for about a 7k margin. We do have a few other flips in here from earlier, but we have another cudgel coming through at 5150. We're going to go ahead and put an offer in for another cudgel. We're only going to do them one at a time as I've been burned on that before, just in case the item's price drops drastically quickly while I'm just doing anything for 20 or 30 minutes. We're going to limit ourselves to one at a time, but we're hoping to do the full limit, which I'm assuming is 8. 250k on 8 of them will net us, well, I guess around 2 mil in profit. Okay, I took a bit of a risk there, but we did actually manage to cash in on 8 of them. I put the offer in before my 1 hour commute. So, wow, okay, that's great. We ended up getting 2 mil in profit off of 8 of the Sarachnis cudgels. We're going to put an offer in for 4 more of them, as well as the grubby keys. While the grubby keys do have around a 10k margin, we just aren't really hitting that very often. They're pretty slow to sell off, but we're going to go for another 100 of the grubby keys, and we'll just see if anything changes throughout the day. Alright, so we ended up selling pretty much everything off for now. We got some amazing margins. We did hit the limit on the cudgels, so we're waiting until our 4-hour timer's up, and then we're going to go ahead and flip up more of them. You can see down there. So we actually got a really amazing flip on the Obsidian Cape R. We got a 150k margin, and we did 8 of them, which nets us 1.2 mil just off of that item, which is really exciting. We also did a bunch of third age range bottom flips, which we did 3 of them, and we got 250k on each one. So that's 750k in total off of that. But we did finally end up selling off the grubby keys, and we got a 7k margin on about 130 of them, which is actually 1.2 mil in profit there as well, which means we made around 3.4 mil off of these flips, bringing us up to 101 mil. We finally did it, guys. We're at 100 mil, which means we are around 1/10 of the way there so far. After 2 months, I'm going to do another temperature check because I was hoping to be at around 75 mil by then. Clearly, we have shot past that. So the Sarachnis cudgel is going up in price very quickly right now. We're going to attempt to buy some for 6.6 mil. This is extremely risky as this item's price is not certain. It's probably worth way less than that, but there is a ton of price fluctuation right now. So we're just going to take a risk and attempt to buy it at that price, and we'll put in for a few other items as well. But wish me luck. Woohoo, look at that, guys. Oh man, I wish I hadn't sold off all 8 of my cudgels earlier. I ended up selling one for 10 mil. And buying it for 6.6 mil. I got really lucky. I had an offer in for 4 of them. I came back, only 1 had bought, which I knew was a really good sign, and I went and checked the price, and it was up to 10 mil. Since then, 8 has crashed right back down, so we got in there at a perfect time. It would have been amazing if we had managed to do 8 of them, but still. We're going to go ahead and try to buy a few more at 8 mil. Don't know if we're going to be able to repeat that, but look at that. 6.6 mil we bought it for, and we sold it for 10 mil, which means we made 3.4 mil on a single item in a single flip, which is the best flip by far. So we ended up flipping another cudgel, but we lost 500k on it. So I think that's where I'm going to end it for today, guys. What an episode. We blasted past the 100 mil. Okay, we didn't blast past. I don't even know how much we have yet. After collecting everything, we're at 104 mil. 104.5 to be honest, which I think is a great spot to end it. We did get helped out quite a bit by the new item releases, but I'm really happy with the profit this week. We started at 71 mil, which means we made around 33 mil this episode, which is I think the highest so far. So anyway, guys, that is it for the episode. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate it if you left the video a like. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time in episode number 7.